Hi everyone, it's Patrick back from Mercedes-Benz Burlington. We're outside on a beautiful day. I bring you today the very first 2025 Mercedes-Benz CLA 250. This is a special car for a few reasons. They've discontinued a few of the different models that were the entry-level vehicles to Mercedes-Benz. So this is now kind of your first step into the brand for us. And why I love this car is it's the first Hyper Blue I've seen. The color came out for 2024, but I hadn't seen one at our dealership in person. So this is the first Hyper Blue Metallic I've seen. Let's highlight some of the differences for the 2025 model. I really like how this paint looks with the night package. A lot of the vehicles I see with the AMG line with night for the CLA, the car is black, so you don't see those glossy black elements as much, but you can really see it shine through here on the sides and across the bottom of the bumper here. You still have the prominent star in the center as well. It really sparkles with this blue. I can't get over the blue. And then the AMG line with night package goes throughout the car on the side of the vehicle as well. You know, I haven't popped the hood on many of the reviews lately, so I thought we would take a look underneath. As you can see, everything is tightly wound up in here. I can barely fit my hand in. You do have that 48-volt battery technology in the vehicle, so that gives you a little bit more power and helps with your fuel economy. This is an inline 4-cylinder. It's a 2-liter turbo engine as well, so you do have the turbo. And it's a pretty light car, so it picks up almost like a 6-cylinder, and you have a sport mode. So when you go into sport mode, it picks up faster. When you're in the comfort mode, which is the default mode for all of the drive systems for Mercedes-Benz, then you kind of have that more comfortable drive, and it does tighten the steering as well. Underneath the hood, you're not going to go in here too often, but you do have, you know, a battery connectivity and all of your fluids that you're able to fill in underneath here. Other than that, ideally you'd always have your hood closed. You can see the AMG line with the night package elements throughout the side, like I was saying, around the windows here, also on your mirror caps. And then this gives you the 5-spoke AMG wheels as well. So those are also in black with that night package element. There are a few different wheel options available as well. This is an all-season wheel, which is popular because you get the AMG wheel, but it's still an all-weather tire, which means you can use it all year round. It is a 4MATIC drive system, so it is all-wheel drive as well. When you go up 1 inch in size for the rims, it does give you a summer performance tire, so you would need to fit the vehicle with winters. But this gives you a good kind of healthy medium option in between. Looks really good with the blue. I keep mentioning the Hyper Blue. There are some beautiful other colors that are carried over from last year as well. You know, some specialty colors like the Magno Mountain Gray, which is a flat matte finish. You have the Patagonia Red, which is a very vibrant red. And then some of our classic colors like the silvers, we still have the black elements and the white colors as well. On the back of the vehicle, you still have your CLA 250 on this side and your 4MATIC on this side. The backup camera pops out of the symbol like many of our models, and to open the trunk, you just push this in, pops right open. You do have a good sized trunk. Underneath, you don't have too much, but this does open up just for, you know, a little bit of extra storage, and then the seats fold down. So you can actually pull on both of these. That'll release the seat, and then you can manually fold them down. On the CLA, you don't have a power trunk option, so you do just pull down, but it does close nice and easy. And you've got these new modern lights. So these were facelifted last year. They look really good. The CLA 250, you don't get a lip, but the CLA does come in the AMG model. So 35 and 45 are both available still. And those would give you, you know, a little bit of a trunk styling lip on the back, different exhaust package, and then obviously different numbers in terms of tuning, horsepower, and torque. A big question we always get with the CLA is how much space is there in the back? That's a kind of twofold question because it's not just the legroom, but also in the 4-door coupe design, the top of the car starts to slant down a little bit and your head actually goes behind the pillar here. I'm going to get in though, and let's have a look because there is still good space. Good legroom. I have some space. As you can see, my head is behind the pillar, but I am not touching the ceiling. You know, I had to take it for a little bit of a drive. There isn't too many differences to the engine or anything like that, but I always like to drive the new product and see if there's little tweaks and differences. You know, a lot of the car enthusiasts will notice little tweaks that are in the different engines as new model years come out. Even things from the exhaust note sounds different, the shifting is different, you know, the gearbox feels different. So I always like to drive them, even though it's still the same engine. So you're getting over 220 horsepower, 221 I believe. most people always ask when they're picking up the car. It's not really a question that people ask when they're buying the car. It's usually a question people ask when they're picking up the car is, what fuel do I put in? So 91 is the preferred fuel to put into all Mercedes-Benz vehicles. You know, if you put in a lower grade, over time it could hurt the engine, but putting it in once wouldn't. But what it does do that people don't realize is you don't get as good of fuel economy. So you'll notice if you put in like a lower grade fuel, you actually burn through the fuel faster being in a performance engine, and you don't actually save any money. So it's not really worth it. Don't do it, people. Just stick to the 91, and then, you know, that's the engine is built for that specific level of fuel. Driving it, it feels about the same as the previous model. The handling is good. I like the new appointments with the steering wheel. The screen is the same size. They have facelifted it, so you do have the new style of the CLA on here with all of your drive assistance features. In the center here, you don't have that trackpad anymore for control, so you do have to actually reach and use the screen. You just have a little setting spot here, and you still have a volume and dynamic button. So I'm gonna go into sport here, and let's try the handling in this. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, so handling is tighter. It feels about the same, but it might be a little bit more peppy. I don't know. It's probably just me. Every time you drive a new car, you have that new car effect, even if you've driven the exact same car for a 2024. So 2025 it's mostly just new model year. There wasn't a lot of production for 2024 for some of our models. So this one is just an updated one, but they haven't changed too much of the appointments in here. Something that is new now, sometimes when you get the first model of the production, you get extra things. Sometimes when you get the first model of production, it's missing a few things depending on availability. There's two things that the 2025 CLAs will have for the rest of the year if you order one, but all of the current models do not have them, as the factory was not in a position to put them into the vehicles. So something that you know, some of the models that are out now are missing would be the Night of Sound package. That package came out and it's already limited availability. So some have it, some don't. It's essentially just it's called Night of Sound. It sounds like a night package, but it actually omits your decals from the back. So the CLA 250 would be missing from the trunk lid. It just kind of, a lot of people, it's called debadging. A lot of people will debadge their vehicle, so that just gives you like a factory debadge. That's almost out for production, so you can't count on that for an order. But the other thing that's going to actually be standard equipment that unfortunately is not on the early production models is a fingerprint scanner. So like the C300 has and some of our other models, there's going to be a fingerprint scanner. You can see the spot here for it, but it's not on the early 2025 models. So there's going to be a fingerprint scanner here that'll bring up your Mercedes Me Connect profile, and then for security purposes, if you have a PIN, you wouldn't have to use the PIN. You can just kind of scan your fingerprint in. So excited to see that. It's interesting because, you know, usually the new model years come out in the fall. So it's, you know, fall time now. Normally, if it's 2024, which it is, you'd have the 2025 starting to come. But with the pandemic, that went away for a few years. So we didn't have, you know, 2022 models coming in 21. We didn't have 23 models coming in the end of 22. You had to wait till the actual model year. So because of that, you know, people would order the car and then it would come exactly how they want. But now we're back to that early age of, you can get a 2025 model right now. This is available. You could come in and purchase it right now, but some of those things that are going to be standard equipment or available options for the factory hasn't actually tooled yet. So for a fingerprint scanner, they don't actually have the capability to install them quite yet. So I believe if you order past, I believe late September, October, they said if you order at that time, the production for 2025's landing early next year will all have that. So that's just information. If you don't care about that, we have multiple 2025s, and you can have one of the very first 2025s already in stock now. We have colors coming in, we have appointments, and we have allocations. So get in touch with me. It's Patrick at Mercedes-Benz Burlington. I am your globally certified specialist. I'm happy to walk you through any of these cars, take you on a test drive with you, let you take one out and enjoy it. But come in, go over questions with us, get in touch with us on Instagram, on YouTube, on email, on our website, and ask questions on these videos, because it allows us to, you know, make the videos longer and help, you know, kind of gain some more traction with what you guys actually want to see and what we need to answer. Sometimes I feel like I answer the same questions a lot. So if you have any questions that I didn't touch on the CLA in general for the last couple of years, feel free to ask and I'm happy to answer. Again, it's Patrick at Mercedes-Benz Burlington. Thank you so much for watching.